How would you like to 10 times your business, 10 times your life, and 10 times the person you are? Hi, this is Paula, and I am super excited you're here today because I'm going to talk about something I get really excited about. And that is the right mindset to get into so that you can 10 times your business and 10 times your life. So what does it mean to 10 times your business? It means 10 times your sales, 10 times your team members, 10 times the good you can do in the world, 10 times the people you can help, and 10 times the person you are. So it encompasses a lot. It's not just about 10 timesing your income. It's 10 timesing everything in your life. So it's all about, rejecting wrong habits, wrong mindsets, and embracing the ones that actually work. And I know we've all gotten out of, or we're on the tail end now of a crazy worldwide pandemic that confused us all and got us out of our groove. But the good thing is, it's gotten us resetting, rethinking, reevaluating things. What do you want to focus on? What do you want your main vision to be in life? Maybe that's different now than it was pre-COVID, right? So I hope you've used all of this time, this quarantine time, this craziness time to really think through everything and know what you want, okay? Know what is the best thing to put your time into, what to prioritize, and what to kick to the curb. And I'll have to tell you, I've kicked a couple big things to the curb recently, and sometimes, no, probably about all of the time. If you really want to make progress, you have to kick some things to the curb. Things that are just not only time wasters, but just mental and energy drains, right? Those are the things, mental energy is the biggest thing, right? So if you get drained there, it's really hard to have success in business or have a thriving family life because you're mentally drained, right? You're spending all this mental energy cluttering up your brain with all this other stuff. So there's some things we just need to kick to the curb, okay? So let's talk about 10 timesing the good you can do in the world, okay? So I'm sure after all of this craziness, you're thinking, what am I here for? What good can I do in the world, right? Who can you help? Who can you encourage? You can encourage somebody today, right now. You can get off this video and go send someone an encouraging message. And that is improving the world, right? Doing good in the world, helping other people, right? It doesn't have to be a huge, major thing, right? You don't have to go solve world hunger, but you can make a difference in one other person's life. So for a long time, right, I was under the impression that business couldn't be used for good. There's no good in business, right? It's just selfish, it's greedy, it's money making, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. I'm sure for some people that is the case, but business is a great way to do good in the world, right? Our country needs some good, strong businesses, which are led by good, strong business owners, right? You guys, okay? So see that as a valuable purpose and mission in life, right? To do good for your country and the world by having a strong business that is full of integrity. So I'll tell you what my first aha moment was about this. And that was when I first heard that I could be a consultant, right, with Lila Rose. And in the past, I'd never in a million years thought about joining a direct sales company because I didn't want to be one of those people, right? You know what I'm talking about. No one wants to be that person, right? But at the same time, I was I'd fallen in love with the product, right? And I thought, I love this so much. Surely other ladies are going to love it as well, right? And it's just kind of a no-brainer to sign up and recommend it to other people. So it was funny because at the same time, friends of ours were adopting, and they needed $30,000 to help fund their adoption. And that's a heck of a lot of money. And I was thinking, how can I help them? How can we help them? And then I was like, wow, I wonder if this crazy direct sales idea could be used for good and to raise money to help this family who is adopting, right? So that is one of the main reasons I got into it, because I realized, wow, business can be used for good. So the first, I ran a review and giveaway with a blogger that I loved, and it worked. It got sales, right, and people interested in the product, and that's what kickstarted my business, okay? And it was totally mind-blowing, because I realized not only is this a viable business model, you know, a way to earn income for a family, but this is a great way to help others, right? I can raise money for other causes I believe in that I wasn't able to before. So that was super exciting, and that's when I realized that business is awesome and business can be used for good. So what happens when you have a business that helps others and then you 10 times it? You can 10 times the number of people you can help, right? You can 10 times the good you can do in the world, right? Does that get you excited or what, right? You may not really have motivation or don't know why you're even in this business thing, right? It just seems like a lot of work for a little payoff. But once you realize that you can 10 times this, and that means you can do 10 times the good in the world. And I'm telling you, during these crazy times, we need more people like you doing exactly that. Now, I hear from a lot of ladies different excuses, and when you start giving excuses, then you start sabotaging your own business, right? And I'm guilty of this. I'm sure all of us have been guilty of one of these excuses at one time or another, right? They're just natural human nature things, right? So you might have said to yourself, oh, I'm not a salesman, right? Or, oh, this direct sales thing has never worked for me in the past, so why do I think it's going to work this time, right? Okay, or I live in a small town or a poor area, so no one's going to want to buy my stuff, right? Or maybe you say, you know, I'm an introvert. I'm not one of those outgoing people who can just sell to anybody in the grocery checkout line, right? What about those who have a chronic illness, right? You think, I can't build a business now. I'm too sick, right? Maybe you think you're just too busy, right? I don't have time enough to do what I'm doing now, let alone add something else to the mix, right? Or I don't have money to invest right now, okay? And again, back to my favorite that I already mentioned, direct sales has never worked for me in the past, right? So I want to change that thought for you. I want to change all of those thoughts for you, because they're all faulty and they're wrong. They're flat out wrong, okay? You absolutely can have a thriving business and 10 times it with these tools, okay, these mindset tools. They absolutely work. Okay, so the pattern for change that I want to tell you guys about today is called the VIM pattern. VIM, V-I-M. It's an acronym for vision, intention, and means. Okay, vision, intention, and means. This is a pattern. These are tools for you to 10 times your business, 10 times your life. Just tools for just changing anything in your life or changing anything about yourself. So many times we think we're just stuck with who we are and with our faults, right? We think we're just stuck that way for life, right? We get into this identity of ourselves that this is the way we are, it's the way I've always been, these things aren't going to change, it's always been this way, never going to change, but that's not true, okay? So changing your life is becoming the person you want to be, okay? So that can be like in marriage or in parenting, okay? It can be in your health, right? A lot of times we get stuck in bad health habits and we think we can't change, okay? So, or as a mom, right? You think, I've always been impatient and I've always yelled at my kids. That's the way I'm always going to be. That's just the way I am, right? They have to deal with it, right? But you can change that. So that's where VIM comes in, where you can change, okay? So most, usually people, we act like change will happen naturally, right? Just if you give it enough years, if you get old enough and enough gray hairs, right, you're going to become a better person, right? That doesn't, you all know those old people. You all know those old people who are still the crabby, miserable, rotten people to be around that they were 50 years ago, right? So if time gave change, right, there would be a lot of old people who would be a lot more pleasant, right? So no change happens naturally, right? If you wanted to play the piano, right, that's not going to happen automatically. And you can't just do a little. You can't just take a week or two of piano lessons and think you're going to be a master pianist. It's just not going to happen. If you want to learn Russian, you can't take a month of lessons online and think you're going to go to Russia and be able to speak fluently with anybody, right? That just ain't going to happen. It's going to take some focused, dedicated, hard work, all right? So, and same with becoming a better person. If you want to stop yelling at your kids, you absolutely can do that. You can become a mom who doesn't yell at her kids, right? So all of these things, right? All of these things, any change doesn't happen naturally. They have to be intentional. Okay, so first part of VIM is V, which is vision, okay? Now, this is having a strong, clear, compelling vision, or compelling mental picture, I should say, of a different and better future. A different and better future the way things are, a different and better way of the person you are, okay? You got to see it in detail. Now, when creating your vision, a lot of people talk about, finding your big why. Why do you want this? And making your vision board of, I want this RV, or I want this car or house or something, right? And I want you to go even deeper than that. Those things might be fine, but just go deeper and think, okay, what type of person do I want to become? Not just what do I want to have, but what type of person do I want to be? Okay? And that is huge. And that's going to be a much bigger motivator for you. And a lot of times those other things will follow once you change who you are as a person. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you have, the house you live in, the success you've achieved if you're not the person you want to be, right? Back to that grouchy old person. We don't want to end up that way, right? Okay, the first thing to realize is that your future is not dependent on your current circumstances, okay? Studies are now showing that personality is not fixed. You can absolutely change. A lot of times we define ourselves by something that happened in the past. It might have been one silly little, crazy little incident, right, that we can't let go of, and we're defining ourselves by that, okay? Now, let me give you an example. When Keith, my husband now, asked my dad if he could marry me, my dad very sweetly gave him some wise advice, right? First of all, he told him, well, she's a bear in the morning, right? And then another thing was, well, she's a gourmet cook, right? Meaning I couldn't cook, right? Now, I was ready to grant, hey, I knew I was a bear in the morning, right? I'm not gonna deny, not gonna deny that. That's true. Okay, but the cook thing, right? That was kind of surprising to me because I did like baking and stuff. I didn't really know anything about making a meal. Knew nothing about making a meal. I could make spaghetti with, jarred spaghetti sauce, right? That's about it, right? So by my dad saying that, he's just joking, right? He just, I have the same sense of humor, so I get that, right? But it made me feel like permanently damaged, like I'm just doomed to be a bad cook for the rest of my life, right? So now, like whenever we think about having guests over for dinner, I just get paralyzed, right? I can't even think what to make, right? And I'm sure that whatever I make is going to turn out to be garbage. It's going to be dog food. I might as well get the puppy chow out and pour it on their plate. That's how good it's going to be, right? So that's just my mindset that I have not been able to change yet, right? I could change. So if it were important to me, if I really realized that was important to me and I made that my vision to be a good cook, I absolutely could be a good cook, No doubt about it, right? So you've got to look at different things in your life where you seem stuck, right? You're stuck at, I'm a bad business owner. I've never been able to sell anything, right? Why did you get that thought? Why did you get that thought? Think back. What was the trigger for that, right? So for me and cooking, it was my dad's just offhand, lighthearted comment that I took to heart, and it defined me for the rest of my life, right? But for you, it might be something else, and maybe you were in another direct sales company and somebody said something derogatory to you, right? I've gotten a lot of derogatory comments from family or whatnot. And it's just like it can stick with you, and sometimes if you let it, you may not recover from it, right? So you've got to realize that, just first identify what happened to get you to think that way. Okay, so then once you identify it, that half the battle's over, right? Now it's just reprogramming your mind to think, hey, that's not who I am. I can change. That's not fixed. I'm not stuck there. I can absolutely change, okay? All right, again, VIM. Let's start at vision. What is your compelling, overriding, exciting vision, right? That is so important to you. This is who you want to be in life. This is what you want your life to look like. Okay, now here's a big key. This is a very big key to the success of this. Don't just say, I want to be a better person. Don't just say, I want to have a thriving business. That ain't good enough. That's not going to cut it, okay? You have to get detailed. You have to get detailed down to the tiniest little detail of what you want your life to look like and what you want you to look like, okay? All right, so then you picture yourself. Picture yourself as that perfect, ideal self that you want to be, okay? In detail, all right? What would you look like, okay? What would you feel like? Would you be full of energy, or would you just be so tired all the time, right? Of course, you'd be full of energy. You'd look healthy. You'd look happy, okay? What time would you get up in the morning? Probably not noon, right? What would your morning routine look like in detail? Okay, you picture, okay, I'm getting up at this time. I am going to go exercise, or I'm going to go make the coffee, or whatever it is, right? I'm going to start work at this time, or I'm going to get the kids this at this time. You picture it all in detail, right? So it's set, okay? What would you eat, right? You don't just grab the first thing that's the easiest thing, right? The Pop-Tart in the cupboard, right? You have thought this through, what you are going to eat. What is your attitude going to be when you get up in the morning? Are you going to have a smile on your face and be joyful, right? Or are you going to give that old scowl to your husband when he says good morning? You're like, rah, rah, Not that I've ever done that, right? Never, right? But a lot of times our face shows a lot. And a lot of times if we just change our face, the way we feel inside will change, right? It seems fake, but studies have shown that just changing your face, putting a smile on your face, actually changes how you feel inside, right? So that's awesome, okay? We can change that, okay? How will you greet your children in the morning? Again, is it with that smile and I'm glad to see you? Or is it yelling at them that they left their toys and their dirty, out on the floor and their dirty dishes in the sink, okay? How do you want to start your morning? What type of person do you want to be, okay? And then do you know exactly what you want to do that day? You know exactly. So you're not just being tossed to and fro by whatever crises come about that day. Sometimes there's some periods in our life where you just feel like you're just putting out fires all the time. Do you ever feel like you're just putting out fires? You're not making any progress because all you're doing is putting out fires, right? So you need to take control of the day. Actually see and be intentional what your day is going to look like. Right? How is this going to play out? Exactly. Okay, and of course wrenches are going to be thrown in there, right? But if you don't start off with that picture, you're pretty much doomed to fail, right? Okay. So how you see yourself, how you picture yourself is how you're going to act, okay? So start seeing yourself as your ideal future self, okay? Not who you are now, but who you would like to be, and then just start acting like that person. It's almost like you're in a play, right? And sometimes I know it seems fake, but it actually changes how you think on the inside. It changes your brain and how what you feel about your identity and who you are, okay? Start doing all that you visualize. Okay, so now the second part of the VIM way to change, so you can 10 times everything, is intention. Intention is huge. This is when you actually decide, you make the choice, you make that decision to actually change, to actually do these things that will move you in that direction of the person you want to be. A lot of times we just kind of hope or wish something will happen. When I'm going to join this drug sales company and we'll see what happens. Might work, might not work. We'll just see what happens. Give it a shot. I'll throw up a post on Facebook. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't work out, I knew it wouldn't anyway. It's never worked out for me in the past, right? You see where we're going here. Okay, you can't just hope or wish something's going to change, because like I said, this is not going to happen if you're learning Russian, right? You don't hope or wish you suddenly become fluent in Russian. You don't hope or wish you're going to suddenly be able to play the piano. You certainly don't hope or wish you're going to become a sweet, joyful mother, right? That is not going to happen by itself. Okay, you have to make the decision that you're going to do what it takes to become that person. Okay, what are some signs that you've actually intended to make these changes, that you've actually made the decision to become this person? Okay, that's the sign, is that you've set your environment up for success. Okay, so a lot of times our environment has way more effect on us than we realize. We think things just happen to us. A lot of times it's the environment we've set up, right? And a lot of times we think we have no choice, no power over our environment, but that's a lie. That's a lie. You have a big choice over your environment. So this is really a big key to this whole training. A big key, and this is where a lot of us get hung up, is on the intention part. Okay, because a lot of times we rely on willpower or self-discipline, and that's very short-lived. You can jump into something, let's say exercise or losing 20 pounds. Okay, I'll lose 20 pounds, I'm gonna go exercise, right? And you hope it happens, but when you get up in the morning, you realize, man, you're tired. I don't want to go exercise. I'm going to roll over and then maybe another 30 minutes, maybe go get a cup of coffee. And then we'll see what happens, right? See if I feel like it. Okay, so this was big for me in the past, right? Where it would be like at the end of the day, and I'd be like kind of complaining and, whining, right, to my husband, saying, oh man, I didn't get to exercise today. I really planned to exercise, but I didn't, right? And he would just jump in and say, you did not plan, you did not intend to exercise. If you intended to exercise, you would have done it. And I'll be like, that's not true. I really did. I planned. I thought in my head, I'll go exercise tomorrow if I feel like it, right? But no, like if I intended it, if I had truly intended, I would have set my environment up for success. Okay, I would have put out my exercise shoes. I would have put out my exercise clothes right there by the bed, so when I get up, there they are. There's no decision to be made. That's what I put on, right? I would have set my alarm rather than just seeing when I get up, and if I happen to get up early enough and have time, then I'll exercise, right? So my husband could see right through that I really didn't. If you're just wishing or hoping or seeing how the day goes, it's not going to happen, okay? So that was true with exercise. It is also very true when you're running a business. You can wish and hope, You can say, tomorrow I'm going to work on my business. But it's this vague thing. Because what you really mean is, tomorrow I'm going to work on my business if I feel like it. Right? If I feel like it and I get some time, I'll work on it. And you know what? Whenever you say, if I get some time, time never comes. Time doesn't just materialize out of nowhere. Has that ever happened? Never, right? It's like you have to set that side of time. You have to actually schedule it. You schedule that time. This is the time I'm going to work on my business, right? If not, you will not do it, right? So again, first you have that vision of the type of person you are, and you see your day, you see going through the day joyfully, full of energy, and then you see what time you will be sitting down and working on your business, right? And then what are you going to do? What tasks? Don't just, okay, this is huge. Don't just say, okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to work on my business. Okay, let's say that time comes. You sit down at your computer. Okay, this is my business. This is my work time. Woohoo! I'm getting there, right? Okay, so you get on there, okay, and like, okay, what do I do? Let's check Facebook. Let's just check Facebook, see what's going on, right? So you get on Facebook. I don't want to miss anything. I might have a customer on there who wants to buy something. Okay, so you get on Facebook, right? And you get distracted by all this stuff. You get distracted by your aunt's friend's wedding pictures, or by the cat video, or by the latest drama going on in anywhere, right? And before you know it, you have done zero to advance your business. You have wasted your business time on Facebook. So the key is not just knowing what you won't do, right? But what you will do. Okay, during this business time, I'm going to do this, then list them out. What are your income producing activities that will move your business forward? Okay, I'm going to make so many phone calls. I'm going to write this blog post. I'm going to make this YouTube video. I'm going to write this email, super huge. Okay, so what things do you know that if you work on, they're going to bring you sales and build your business? Sales team members, build your business, okay, or train your team members, okay? There's a lot of activities where we're busy and we're thinking we're doing something, and we're just like doing busyness, right? We think we're doing business, but we're doing busyness, and we're not actually doing the things that will grow our business, right? So before you sit down during your allocated business time, work time, know exactly what those activities are. And you might want to assign something for each day of the week. So maybe Monday, I do a blog post. Tuesday, I work on an email to send out. Wednesday, I might contact an influencer, right? Thursday, I might, so you get the idea, right? So however you like to work, right? Friday, finding a new show to be a part of, right? So how are you building your business, right? Is it through shows? Is it online, right? How are you building your business? Okay, what activities do you need to be doing to build a business that way? Okay, and that's going to look different depending on how you're building your business, okay? So just write those down and have a clear idea of what are business building activities. Facebook in general is not a business building activity. You can get on Facebook after your business time. After your business time in the evening when you're just relaxing, then you can get on Facebook, okay? But make sure you do your business building activities. All right, the third part of the VIM strategy for 10 times in your business and 10 times in your life is M, which is means. That's just the practical strategy of how you're going to achieve that. Okay, so if you're wanting to become a better, joyful parent, right, then the means are that book, that parenting book that will tell you the tactics and tips to do that, all right? Now again, if you didn't really have the vision to be a better mom, or the intention to actually follow through and do what it takes, then the book is going to be of no use, okay? But once you have the vision, intention, and then those practical ideas are going to help you, okay? That's when you need that. Okay, same with building a business, okay? So once you have that vision, right, of why you want a successful business and who you can help and the person you want to be doing that, and then you get the intention that you're really going to do it, you're really going to set your environment up for success, right, to do the things that are necessary, then you get the means, which is the actual strategies, right? So again, this is how you're building your business, right? So if you're building your business through vendor events, right, then you'll want to learn everything you can about being the best vendor at an event ever. And then do those things, okay? Do the things that'll get you there, right? If you're going to build it online, learn everything you can about online and do it, right? So it may be a certain trainer. Facebook parties, if you're building through Facebook parties, well, by golly, learn everything you can and become the best Facebook party person ever, right? So the means are just actual strategies and tactics. And a big place people get stuck is they start with the M, with the means. They might buy a new course, okay, a new course in how to build their business or their direct sales business. They might get another book, right? They might listen to another webinar. They might go to another YouTube video, okay? So maybe it's you. You're just listening to training after training after training after training, right? And they're all good tips. Most of them are great tips, right? But why are these people who are listening to all these trainings not getting any success in their business? That's because they didn't have the vision and the intention first. Okay, so you've got to get those two things first, and then you learn about the strategies and the skills to get there. So are you getting excited yet? Okay. Again, a key is starting at the beginning with that vision. What gets you so excited that it makes you just want to jump out of bed in the morning and get started because you're so excited about it? A lot of times we just, we don't even want to face the day and all the problems, right? So that's why just having that goal, that vision that gets you so excited that you'll want to work on it. You see that vision of the person you want to be, you see that vision of the business you want to have, and you just can't wait to get started with it. Because a lot of times what we think is a time management problem is actually an energy management problem. We get out of energy, we get discouraged, which makes our physical body tired, and we just want to go take a nap, right? But if you're excited, do you know what? Think of those times when you're so excited working on something, you lost track of time, you forgot, you missed several meals because you're so into something, because you're so excited about it, and you're totally in the zone because you just loved doing that. Okay, that's the point we want to get to. You want to get to the point where you're just into something that you just love doing. You're building your business the way you love. You're going after a vision that you believe in. And this is what's going to make all the difference. Go all in. Decide, intend that you're going to go 100% in, okay? Whether it's making a promotion or getting to a certain level in your business, right? Go all in. Go 100% in and say you are going to do that, right? Studies have shown people who have like a 98%, well, 98%, I'm going for it, man, 98%. But you know what that does? That 2% gives you that out. That gives you that out so that if you don't do the things it takes to get there, you think, well, I knew it was only a 98% chance anyway, right? But if you go 100% in, you're going to do every single thing it takes to get there, right? You have no excuses. So go 100% in and not 98% in. And then one final thing I just have to portray to you. Portray, convey. And one final thing I have to convey to you is focus. This is huge, and this is what has tripped me up so many times over the years. So many times. Every day I am tempted to go here or there or chase this idea or that idea. There's a lot of great ideas out there. There's a lot of great business ideas. There's a lot of great stuff out there, a lot of great training, but if you're trying to do all the things, if you're trying to build your business on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and doing shows and all these different things, you're going to make a little tiny progress in each area, right? But if you go all in on one thing, you are way more likely to experience success and be able to 10 times your business. Go all in. And a lot of times we listen to trainers and they teach on all these great ideas and you want to do them all, but realize that probably none of them have done all those ideas at the same time, right? Maybe like this year you want to focus on this strategy. Next year you want to focus on this strategy, right? You've got to see it as a long-term, a long end game, right? Get the, see the big picture. Don't try to do it all at once, right? That doesn't mean not to go all in and get super focused and 100% in and get it, achieve that goal, right? It is not trying to do all of the things, right, where you go 1 inch in each direction, right? Go all in on the one thing you're going to focus on this year, right, this day, right, and be the best at it. Go all in, go 100% in, get focused. This one tip has made the biggest difference for me, especially this past year. This past year, I decided to focus on one strategy, go all in. Even though I really wanted to do that and that and that, I really wanted to, right? But I realized, okay, if I really want to see some measurable success, if I really want to see a 10 times in sales, I'm working for a 10 times in sales, okay, 10 times in team members, you have to go all in on one thing. You have to totally get focused because there's just not enough hours in the day to do it all, okay? So that's a big tip I have for you today as well, okay? So I just challenge you to set aside some time and think about, hey, what's your vision? What's your vision, right? What's your vision for your business? Who are the people you want to help, right? Where do you see your business? How many team members? How many sales? And what's this going to do for your family? What people can you help, okay? Just picture that all in detail. What type of person do you want to become, okay? Do you want to be just a complainer, always feeling like a failure, like you can't do anything, right? Or do you want to be the type of person who realizes you can do things, you can be happy and joyful, and you can be a thriving business owner? You can be a thriving business owner. You absolutely can. You can totally rise to the top, right? Other people who are at the top are no better than you, right? You can absolutely do it. I'm telling you, that's true. So let's do this together. Let's go out and 10 times the people we can help and the good we can do in the world and the people we are. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Where's my mouse?